this is the end.
You know what I liked about it, and I think when people watch the video, they'll see it. You immerse the viewer. The people watching the video are going to be immersed two ways. Number one, you're right. The camera work and the sound, amazing. But there's something that you do, and Joe, I don't know if you got to this because of time's sake, but there's something you do at the end of the video where you actually go out into the audience and you get reactions. And it is the most, okay, I'm just going to tell people you need to, again, the last 9 minutes, huge. And then after that, stay. Don't walk away because people are crying, they're tearing up. And what I loved about it is literally a cornucopia of the world. You're getting different accents. Happily, they're speaking in English, so I could all understand them. But what I loved about it too is when Martin. Yeah. Boy, out of 3 times I got them all wrong. Martin gets up there and also has a word. And again, without giving any of what he says, it is such an incredibly emotional moment. He looks wonderfully and emotionally spent. I mean, you see every piece of him and he talks about the journey, 2 years in the making, and how the journey culmination was really cue the music and everybody coming together. And so you guys galvanized literally the world together. And when I thought about you premiering this on December 23rd, and I think you did this on purpose, I thought, I don't care if you're Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Christmas time and the holidays, I feel like they cement everybody. And it just brings people together because it's supposed to be a happy time. Joe just had a great conversation about the Bond community. It's so good when it's positive, and you're giving this gift at such an incredible time. Was it very purposeful to do it very close to Christmas?
I wouldn't say I've planned it like for a long period of time. I've wanted to put it out, and then I was thinking, when's going to be the best time to do it? And I think you're right. That's a big part of it. It's that time when I think everyone's going to be gearing up for Christmas. I'm hoping that people will be sort of finishing work around then. And, I just wanted to put out a time when I thought I'd try and capture as many people as possible to see it, because partly I wanted to also, a big part of it, I wanted to get it in before the end of the year, but so it's still in part of the 50th anniversary year. But also I just want to, I want the Bond fan community, the ones that haven't seen it, the ones that haven't necessarily bought into Cue the Music yet, or just haven't heard about it. I want them to get the opportunity to see it. And this is really sums up Cue the Music, perfectly, really, in terms of that kind of emotional moment. That was just an absolute, just a snapshot in time that's never going to be repeated again. It's just the ultimate event, and we were so privileged that Martin asked us to perform there. I mean, I've said it so many times, with the exception of my 2 children being born, it was the most incredible moment of my life that weekend.
And it turned your passion and love into, this is your full-time gig now, right? You're doing this for a living.
Yeah, it will be from the summer. I'm leaving my job as a musician over here and going to do Cue the Music full time. So it's a huge risk. It's scary, exciting, all of those kind of things. And but I think it's going to work really, really well. And I've got lots of ideas of how I can expand on that. But it really does rely. Cue the Music does rely on the support of the Bond community. We're not a show. There are so many touring theatre shows in the UK that have it so much easier than I do. You put on an ABBA show in a theatre, or you put on a Grease night or anything like that, it's going to sell out. With the Bond concerts, they just don't. They really don't. And we're sort of touch and go every time we do a theatre show. We're touch and go as to whether we're going to be into profit or not. The last 4 shows that I did, I wasn't in profit. I lost money on them. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And every single, and the thing that's important to remember is that every single time we get a Bond fan, or anyone actually, but especially the Bond fans, to one of our concerts, it's 100% positive feedback every time. That's which is fantastic. But it's just so important that we keep bringing those Bond fans in, because there's so many out there that haven't seen the show yet, and it's it's made for you. You know what I mean? It's made for those Bond fans. It's tailor-made for them.
Joe, I wanted to ask a bonus question of both of you, but first let me start out with something for Joe specifically as it relates to what Warren just said. Is it true that you in 2020 are commissioning Warren's band to do a theme song for Being James Bond? Could you go on record with that, sir?
And I could just imagine what they would come up with. It would absolutely be incredible. You know,
it's out there.
There you go. Warren is dead right when he says that this is really a show that is custom made for Bond fans. And I think that it is also the sort of thing that I think anyone would enjoy. I mean, if you're not a Bond fan, if you're just a music fan, obviously. But I remember, like, even early on in the show, Warren starts to talk to the audience. And of course, again, he's talking to this group of hardcore fans that came to this event. And so basically, and he said something like, normally I might say a couple things about the history of Bond music, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, but, I don't have to. You guys know all this. So it really is something that is kind of perfectly geared for, again, a hardcore fan. Or, I mean, just, a fan as opposed to just the average person. So, I mean, it really is, you feel an extra sense of connection because it's almost like we're kind of getting a wink from the band, like, we know, so this is for you. We're not gonna give you the fluff that other people might get. So
that's a funny thing actually, Joe, because I mean I spin it back at you guys, but when normally when we do the theatre shows, we have a Bond girl contest. So the ones that we have working with us are all fabulous. We have Madeline Smith from Live and Let Die, Caroline Bliss, obviously the Moneypenny from Living Daylights and License to Kill, and Caroline Munro from The Spy Love Me. All three rotate around, but they all do the shows between them. Fabulous. All three of them, lovely to work with. So they do a script where they kind of introduce the songs, they give a little bit of facts about the music and everything else. It's really good. But of course, I didn't have them there for this. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to speak. And I was thinking, well, what do I say? Because I can't really read that script. I mean, how do you compare a Bond concert to 200 of the most diehard Bond fans ever? I think the last thing they want to hear, as I said in a little bit, that Shirley Bassey sang 3 songs, and the first of those is Goldfinger. We're going to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Totally.
Instead of doing that, I thought, well, actually, I'll talk a bit more about how we're doing what we're doing, and I'm so chuffed that David said earlier on, he said, oh, you did a really good job. I mean, because it's not really believe it or not, then maybe I don't know, but it's not really my thing at all to do those comparing. I'd much rather have Maddie or Caroline doing that. But actually, when I've sort of seen it back, when I've been putting the video together and stuff, I mean, I'm literally talking 2 million miles a second with just pure excitement, and I'm surprised that I actually managed to get anything coherent out with how excited and just happy I was to be there doing that.
I'll tell you what it was, because we recognize and smell a fan. We recognize and smell one of us. It's that whole familiarity, and you came across so passionate as a fan. I do have a question though, for you, Warren, because there's something that just occurred, depending on when people are watching this. We just had a trailer come out. I don't know if you heard, for No Time to Die. Are you, in your capacity, the way you're wired, excuse the pun, are you able to watch a trailer like that and not think like, all right, come May, Cue the Music is going to be doing the theme song somewhere from No Time to Die, and boy, I could see and hear a theme song conjuring up. Like, do you start playing the soundtrack in your head? Do you analyze it, or can you just let it relax and wash over you?
Not at all, actually. I'm completely and utterly just a pure and utter fan when it comes to that. I mean, I watched it. What was it now? Day before yesterday, same as you guys. I sat. We were actually about to go and have a Christmas dinner, and we were due to leave. And I said, I'm going to have to meet you at this dinner. I'm going to have to come late to sit and watch the trailer. And I sat and watched the trailer like everybody else on Good Morning America, and then immediately watched it back on YouTube. And then literally, as I was driving to this Christmas dinner, I was trying to download and listen to people's reaction ones. I was catching you guys, your reactions on the way back from the dinner in the evening. pure fan. That's what I am in that situation. Where it changes is the week before the film comes out, and then that song usually drops, doesn't it? It's normally around a week before they bring it out, and it's around about 2 weeks before that the terror sets in, because what are they going to bring? What is it going to be? You know, is it going to be something that we can do? There was, I mean, I remember there was a rumor of one of the films, and it turned out obviously just to be a rumor, but there was a rumor that Eminem was going to do one of them, and I'm thinking, wow, that's going to be really tough for us.
It'd be like rapping and stuff like that.
Exactly, you know, and I've said it, you know, in other places as well, that, you know, when I've heard the Radiohead song that was rejected for Spectre, I think we dodged a bullet there personally.
It's like James Bond, biggity Bond, biggity big Bond, biggity Bond.
You know, I wasn't a fan of that particular sort of song. You know, it could
the Iggy Pop one too. The Iggy Pop one.
Yeah, I know.
That's Dave's new favorite.
But I mean, but I don't think they ever will pick something like that, because it does all kind of fit into a sphere within the Bond. You know, they kind of push the boundaries a little bit. I mean, You Know My Name really kind of felt like a left field sound. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, that's really different. But man, oh man, I love that song now, you know. And Writings on the Wall, I'm a really big fan of the song. Like, and actually, I don't really mind Sam Smith's voice in it. I know that's a lot of what people push back against, but I really love the song. I think it's a beautiful piece of music. But yeah, so a fan all the way, but then that's the one bit where cue the music, kind of that side of me kicks in, because I'm like, what's it going to be? Yeah. And as soon as I've heard it and you think, yep, that's going to be fine, then all of that just switches off, and I go into the film just purely watching it as a fan. I think I probably, just whilst the song's playing during the credits, I'm probably thinking about it then. But then the rest of it, then yeah, I just want to enjoy it. And I think that even applies to the score as well. Actually, as much as we do a lot of, as you know, you guys will know, maybe people watching don't, but we do an awful lot of cues and rejected songs and songs within the films. We do them as well. And I don't want to think about that when I'm watching the film for the first time, or even the first couple of times I go in the cinema. It's only really when it comes out later on, or the soundtrack comes out and I buy that. That's when that gear switches, and I start thinking, you know, what's here that we can mine from this and perform.
So do you guys, and Joe, you may know this because I know you've been talking to a bunch of people. Do you guys know what music they used for the trailer? I mean, it's got to be existing music, I assume.
Well, the normal form is that trailers have their own. There is actually a whole industry out there of composers that write for trailers. And it's not the composer who writes for the film. So it's not Dan Romer in this case, if he's still doing it. I mean, it seems like he is. So it won't be him. I think they're way too busy scoring the actual film. So they bring in someone just to do that particular bit. So, because remember with Spectre, there was all those sort of quotes from On Her Majesty's Secret Service, wasn't there? Yes. Do you remember? And everyone was getting really excited, going, "Oh, this is going to be amazing!" And actually, it bared no resemblance to Thomas Newman's score at all, which is a shame. I think it would have been great.
His one score, Skyfall, that they duplicated for Spectre.
Yeah.
Oops.
A zing. Mic drop.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we mentioned that we're putting up a link in the details. What time is it on December 23rd? Because we really haven't mentioned that.
So it's 8:30 in the evening, but that's Greenwich Mean Time. So for you guys in New Jersey, it's going to be 3:30 in the afternoon. And you know, wherever else you are in the world, you're going to have to kind of work that bit out. But if you want to find it really quickly and easily, just go to the Cue the Music page, which is facebook.com/Cue the Music Show, and it'll be running live. And I think what I'm going to do actually anyway is I'm going to put one of those little countdown timers on, and I'm going to start it probably a good couple of hours before, so people know where it is, and then they can come back to it when it goes live at 8:30.
That's always a great idea. Joe and I will definitely pony up and try to let people know in our humble little corner of the world, and it's worth it. You've done an amazing job, truly.
Oh,
I love the timing of it, because I could totally see myself sitting somewhere wrapping Christmas presents with that playing. with
That's
a
a great
glass of
idea.
wine and, you know.
On a bearskin rug. Yeah.
Yeah, we need hopefully people tune in, but also spread the word. If you're seeing this, and tell everyone about it. It's going to be the great thing about this event is that we can watch it together and we can enjoy it and share it, and that's something that is, because it's only up for those 2 hours. There's an opportunity for Bond fans, even though we won't be in the same room, the Bond fans will be able to be watching it together and enjoying it in the chat and what have you. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's something we didn't even talk about. So there is going to be a chat scrolling.
Oh yeah, there will be. Yeah, and you'll be able to switch it off
that's-
if it's annoying. So you've got
No. But I think
either way.
people love chats. So, I mean, I know Joe and I are going to be there. I think if you want to really have a nice kind of discussion and discuss what you're seeing and hearing, or just talk about what you've been hearing in the news, chats are amazing. And it's a great way for everybody to connect. I did not even know that. That's great.
As we're talking about it, I'm sort of like, how, we have the movies on our shelf, but when they're on TV, something a little more fun about that because it's live and it's happening now. This is going to have that feel. And I feel like, for all the talking that we're doing about all the different aspects of, again, I really have to stress, you were talking about how there are people in the audience. I was one of them. I swear to God. I mean, I literally was wiping tears out of my eyes. This thing was just that intense. Again, like I said, I mean, everything just sort of came together, and this concert was magic. And again, and I have to stress, I wouldn't say this if I didn't mean it. I mean, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is so true. It was David used the word masturbatory before, so I'll use the word. It was orgasmic. I mean, it honestly was. And it's, again, it's not hyperbole. I swear to you, it was so intense. This whole experience. I mean, like, everything about it. I mean, from the Olympics of it, from the athleticism that it took to actually do this, to the preparation, to everything. But again, the performance was absolutely just unbelievable. And we were joking before about it, not even joking, but about how it took some of my least favorite songs. David and I have something coming up tomorrow. I purposely put Dirty Love on the playlist because now suddenly I'm a fan of Dirty Love, because I saw Cue the Music do it. I spent years goofing on how silly that stupid song is, and then Cue the Music does it, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm a fan now.
That was James Bond Radio that sort of egged me on to do that one at some point. Right? Yeah, they've been going on to me for years. All those guys.
That's their favorite.
I'll tell you one of a really quick anecdote that you guys will love, and it really sums up everything you're saying. During the Majesty's 20-minute medley, Stephen Saltzman, of course, Harry Saltzman's son, was stood literally about, 8 feet in front of my face, with his friends, what have you. And the start of Majesty's the medley started, and I could see him just sort of going, oh my goodness, they're doing 20 minutes of music from Majesty's. This is pretty cool. And throughout the medley, I honestly, his jaw was just dropping further and further and further. I'm not even joking. It was almost comical how much his jaw was just dropping open, that he couldn't believe what he was hearing. And then it sort of culminated in him getting on stage after the medley finishes. And you'd remembered well, I won't spoil it, because he pays us the ultimate compliment, really does. And it was just a completely off the cuff moment where he gets on stage and takes the mic from me to say something to the audience. And that moment, that was just me gone. I was just like, how on earth am I going to follow this moment, but that was just great. I was just, his face, his jaw was just like, I just couldn't believe it. It was great.
And it's in the video, because I saw that. I mean, especially when he comes up and he starts, shaking literally every person's hand in the band, because it just meant so much to him. It was amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, hopefully after 50 minutes, if you don't get where you should be on December 23rd, then there's something wrong with you. But Warren, listen, man, we love you like a brother. We love what you're doing. Seriously, you're doing every Bond fan in the world proud. And we can't wait for people to share in this. So we're going to be there. We hope you're there. Go check out the links. Joe, thank you so much. See you tomorrow, my friend. And Warren, hopefully we'll see you soon. And thanks for being on, guys. And we're looking forward to just really experiencing this with both of you.
Same
Thank
here.
you
I can't wait.
both-
I'm looking forward to it.
Both of you guys, say you both absolute legends in my eyes for what you do for the Bond community, and brought so much fun to me actually as a fan as well. And thank you so much for all the support you give us. And yeah, thank you for having me on.
All right, guys. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.